we're talking about people who supply controlled drugs. I would like to do everything apart from smash the door down. I am minded to put you in, Jay. Knock on the door. I've been tasked to come and do an arrest inquiry. Make sure if the door opens, foot goes in the door. Hello, nice and friendly, nice and de-escalating. I don't want them to suspect anything, and we're gonna stack in the stairwell, okay? Once the door's been opened, you don't give us a signal, we'll be watching. Open and we go in, okay? If the dogs come out and he can't shut the door in time, point man, whoever that's gonna be, we'll decide now. We'll just let them have the spray, okay? And the spray, I'm happy for you to use it preemptively, okay? Do not wait for those dogs to come out and attack you. If you see they're giving you a funny look, you let them have the spice. It's that simple, okay? Nobody here gets hurt for a dog. I don't like the fact that this guy's selling drugs, and we'll go and act on that.
That's it.
Stay safe, yeah?
Gibraltar, one of Britain's last overseas territories. Over 30,000 people call it home, but millions more visit every year, enjoying a little bit of Britain under the Mediterranean sun. Lying at the very tip of mainland Europe, with a border to Spain in the north, and Morocco just 9 miles south across the water. Gib's 430 customs and police officers are tasked with protecting this critical gateway between Africa and Europe. Tackling everything from smugglers to tourists in trouble, saving lives, enforcing the law, and clamping down on crime. They are the cops on the rock. The Royal Gibraltar Police Drug Squad is about to raid the flat of 2 brothers they suspect are dealing the party drug MDMA. The first challenge is getting through the door.
The idea is because one of them have just come out from doing time in Spain, they have warrants pending with us, so I'm going to knock on a door as a usual shift officer routine to keep their suspicions low. I just keep everything low key, but more importantly, I am going to try and make sure they have 2 quite large dogs. If I can get them to lock the dogs away, and then we can mitigate any risk factors towards myself or my colleagues who are coming back after me.
The remaining officers follow behind. With Jay at the door, the others stay out of sight until he gives the signal.
Hello, ma'am. Sorry to interrupt. Sorry, I get the 2 names confused. Hello. Hi. I came out recently from prison.
Police! Hello, search warrant.
The man in the red jacket is one of the suspects. The other suspect is not at the property.
Yeah, no, I can't. Door's barricaded, 1 second. Yeah. No, I got it. Okay, dog's clear. Ready? Room 1. Police! Take the cuffs off. Venga, vamos para afuera. Sí. Stack him to the front. Fuera.
Jerry calms the suspect's mother down before starting the search.
The entry went pretty quick, I think. We've found a barricade at the door. It wasn't for us, it was for the dogs. It turned out the dogs were no match for our tactical minds. Both residents, and you see they know us personally, they're referring us to our by our names. My nickname on the street used to be Baloo, So you hear them saying, "Oh, Baloo, thank you very much for coming round." I'd say it's a term of endearment because he's definitely the coolest character in the Jungle Book. By far, by far.
Almost immediately, the search for drugs takes a surprising turn. A police uniform and other unexpected items are uncovered.
See? You haven't used it for anything, no? This has been located in a wardrobe in the subject's bedroom, and he's admitted he paid £50 for it from a colleague of his, and it's lived in his wardrobe ever since. So we haven't had any reports of any persons impersonating police or anything like that, so we'll seize it obviously and we'll ask some questions about it later, but we're not going to go any further with that for the time being. Could find that. So what we have here are transceiver radios. These are Motorola's, quite expensive. They're probably around £400-500 each. These are generally associated with illicit smuggling activity. It could be tobacco smuggling, could also be drug trafficking. They communicate with the larger ribs out at sea. They'll use this to communicate our movements. If they see either a patrol car or a vehicle associated with a drug squad or an unmarked unit, they'll call it in and they'll use these to communicate. These are actually prohibited in Gibraltar. You can't operate a transceiver without a license, so we'll be taking these as well. And there's a substantial fine there, so not drugs, but I mean, we're certainly on the right track. Another radio in the box.
This operation may be bigger than the drug squad anticipated. One officer has made an unexpected find.
This is a list of police officers.
List of police officers and their personal phone numbers and addresses. Yeah, interesting. Can I take a look just to see if...
Yeah, this is a couple of years old, but it's from the station. Dime.
Yeah, of course it was. Yeah. Extremely angry. Extremely angry. Betrayed by whoever's leaked information like this. That's how I feel. It's before my time, I'm not on there. But it's still horrible because my co-workers are.
But that's obviously a massive breach of our data protection, and that's obviously put officers potentially in harm's way. We're talking about telephone numbers, addresses. I mean, mine's on that list. Not that I care, everybody knows where I live anyway, look at me. Biggest cop around. But it's not nice. A lot of police officers do a lot of sensitive work, and that's undermining the security.
And there's more. A folder of unauthorized police documents. With officers' security breached, Jerry immediately alerts the gaffer.
The list of officers is that old, though. The list of officers is Mr. Yomi as the commissioner. Okay. No problem. Thanks, boss. Bye. He said, when we've asked that, he bought the tabard for 50 quid a few years back because he thought it was cool, and the list was inside the pocket. Now, that being said, the list wasn't in the tabard. The list has been found underneath the mattress. So I'm not inclined to believe the story regarding the list. Join the police, they said. No? Okay, coming down? Yeah.
The drug squad are searching the home of two brothers suspected of dealing MDMA. But despite a long search, they can't find the drugs their intel said would be there. Jerry taps his informant for more details.
Sorry to bother you, mate. It's me again. Can you talk? Listen, we've hit this one's house. Yeah, nah, get out. We've turned it upside down, mate. Okay, no worries, mate. We'll keep looking.
Then their luck changes. There's a find.
Here's your tank in there.
Pollen? Okay, pollen? Oh, good find, mate. As you can see, this is cannabis, but this is what's referred to locally as pollen. This is compact format, and they break it off. They can use it to smoke as powder. He's saying he's gonna ingest it with food. There's a number of different ways of using it, so it's again not what we're looking for, but still a good find and still an arrestable offence. I'm talking possibly 30 grams, maybe something like that. So, Class B drug in Gibraltar, so we'll take it.
But in the flat store cupboard, there's yet more police-related material.
So with the documents we have here, we've got police issue uniform, we've got some police documents. In fact, you got a day book from a police officer, and what we have here, which for me is the most concerning of the finds thus far, is a copy of what we used to refer to as the daily reports. Obviously now, 2020, they're digitized, they're all on the computer. So, you know, it's very difficult for people to gain access to it. In fact, we have an extract from the old database with the suspect's name on it. So somebody appears to have searched this particular individual on the database and printed out the results. This could be a possibility. Yeah, we're talking about a police officer who's unlawfully disclosed this information, which is a very serious allegation. It could be that some of this property has been the result of a burglary. If I'm honest with you, this is probably more serious than the drugs we were expecting. So, I don't know.
But you hear horror stories across the board of drug gangs dressing up as police officers in order to steal product from other drug gangs.
Okay, boss, we found a police officer's day book with a list of personal notes and stuff like that in it. We found an old epaulette with the numbers removed. He's going to have some very serious questions to answer.
For the officers, it's a chilling reminder of the particular risks that come with policing in Gib.
When you remove the anonymity, you remove that safety net, and you have to go into a community where everybody knows you. They know where you live, they know where your wife works, they know what school your kids go to, they know what car you drive.
As the suspect is booked in for questioning, the team weigh the evidence before it is sent for analysis.
63 grams, 25.
After further investigation and interviewing the suspect in relation to the police data and uniforms found in the flat, he was charged with handling stolen goods. Although this was later dropped in court, what the objects were doing there still remains a mystery.
This is searcher. When you've got weather like this, which is flat and calm, this tends to go probably the quickest. You probably hit about between 55 and 58, maybe 59, maybe even 60 at times. You want to know what checks we do, yeah?
It's the start of the night shift for Gibraltar's Customs Marine team.
That's the engine's fully down.
Officers Arturo Asquez, John Cartwright, and Max Lopez are heading out on patrol.
Here it's pretty tight. They know we run a tight shift here, but it's always good to keep your eyes open. So basically, our day goes from stopping pleasure crafts or yachts coming into Gibraltar, just checking them for dutiful goods. Anywhere between that and stopping or trying to stop a loaded rib. They travel through our waters, sometimes carrying in excess of 2 tons of cannabis.
Patrolling the harbour late at night, the customs team are looking for potential smugglers.
So basically, night like tonight, it's a pretty good viz for us, so we might see a vessel coming across the straits. So we'll linger off Europa Point, a couple of miles out to sea, and then if we do see them, we've got a good chance of seeing in what direction they're going and see if we get lucky and see if something comes across our bows.
And before too long, a boat rouses their suspicions.
Just that little fishing vessel sort of coming out along the middle of the bay.
It's 1:30 in the morning. With its lights turned off, Arturo thinks the vessel may be up to no good.
once it gets dark, it's very hard to see vessels out there. If you're lucky enough, a bit of moonlight, that'll help, or the wake off the boats. The radar's pretty good, but 9 times out of 10, it's them just breaking any lights in the distance. And unless you're looking at that particular second in that area, they are very difficult to see.
Arturo suspects the boat might be supplying fuel for smuggling vessels who fill up in secret out at sea between quick drug runs from Morocco to Europe.
¿A dónde venéis, dice ahí? ¿Del faro? ¿Del faro? ¿Cuánto tiempo lleváis fuera?
Yo no tengo ni idea. A mí se me ha hecho eterno.
4 horitas. ¿Sabes qué?
Arturo has spotted extra fuel on board. It could be to supply smugglers.
¿Te habéis estado dando petaca?
No, es que eso estaba ahí. No, esto estaba ahí, ¿eh?
No, estoy esperando para dar.
No, si vamos a la puerta.
Basically, they were travelling across the bay, no lights on. Suddenly turned them on, so we pulled up alongside. When we asked where they were going, they said they were going to La Linea port, which was in the opposite direction of where they were heading. And they said they got a bit confused with the lights. So all didn't make sense to me.
The 3 men are being brought in for questioning.
One of them hasn't got any ID whatsoever. No paperwork for the vessel. He gave me the name of the owner's a nickname because he didn't know him. I go, well, it's lend you his boat and you don't even know his name. So. Do 2 of you want to come with me and 2 of you search that vessel, please? Again, no. Básicamente.
They could have anything. I'm also checking that they don't have any slits or hashish or anything on board. The story doesn't make any sense. They have no radar. They shouldn't be going out at night without a radar because they can literally crash into anything. So, yeah. The boat is supposedly his uncle's. It's his uncle's friend, so.
The boat's cargo sets alarm bells ringing for the searching customs officers.
These kinds of jerry cans, this is petrol they use for the big ribs.
A rib is a rigid-hulled inflatable boat. It's the vessel of choice for smugglers in these waters.
They also have this to cover the jerry cans or cover any other, like cannabis balers. If they get loads of cannabis balers, they would use that as a covering, so you can't see them from far and they don't get stopped.
A drug smuggler's rib could be relying on this boat for fuel as it dashes across the straits from Morocco.
But for all we know, it's a stolen vessel. So especially where he said his friend lent him it, and then it was his uncle lent him it, and they couldn't give me a name of the owner, so.
And that's not the only thing that doesn't add up.
Some conflicting stories. One of them's been out there for 7 hours, one of them's been out for 5 hours, one of them's been out for 3 hours, but they're all in the same boat.
Last group, we pulled off one of these smaller vessels. They said they'd spent 3 weeks out at sea, and they said that was nothing unheard of, and they spent even longer than that. The demeanour is happy-go-lucky. They know that whatever they've done, we can't prove. So, got too much fuel as well. I can't see why, having 2 massive petrol tanks for that size of an engine, they need another 270 litres. So they've been up to no good. Unfortunately, we can't prove it. But we'll keep the vessel here and let's find out who the owner is when he comes up with the paperwork.
It's obvious what they were doing. They're not hiding it, to be honest. Well, they are hiding it, but they're being blasé and totally disrespectful about it, to be honest.
multiple teams patrol the harbour at night. And on customs boat Seeker, Officer John Charles and crew are starting their shift. Experience has taught them that patrolling the harbour is a game of cat and mouse.
As you can see, we just gone round this tank over here because usually the suspect grids, they hide behind them. So we usually check.
Gangs exploit the fact that tobacco taxes are lower in Gibraltar than Spain and smuggle out huge quantities to sell there. And customs have had word that a suspect boat may be in the harbour loaded with tobacco.
Now what we are trying to do is trying to hide ourselves because people that may be looking for us spotting us. So we are using the tank as cover.
Go, dale.
They spot the suspect rib hugging the coast. The chase is on. The boat is loaded with something. It looks like boxes of tobacco. But at this speed, a crash could be fatal. John stops the pursuit, and the boat disappears into the darkness.
As you can see, they don't bother to stop. They risk their lives just to put the merchandise through. It's a dangerous job that we are doing here on a nightly basis, and we have to look out that we do not risk or hurt the individuals on board their vessels, and also we have to look out for our crew. So it's a very fine line on how to stop them at this moment.
The boat has got away, but chances are another one will be back in this relentless tussle between customs and smugglers. In Gibraltar, the fight against drug smugglers at sea continues to evolve, but on land, bobbies on the beat face a similar set of problems. There are thousands of mopeds on the rock, and keeping them all under control is a full-time job.
Guys, as you come in, there's speed signs, vale? Let's follow them. It's 15 here, okay? Venga, take it easy.
Constable Casey Asapadi Francis is on patrol in the marina.
So we're just out here basically to protect riders and drivers and passengers as well, and to make sure that everyone's using the road safely.
He's stopped two lads on a moped.
He's just taking me to my bike.
He can't.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously, I've stopped him before.
The driver only has a learner's license, which means he's not allowed to carry a passenger.
I've stopped him before. Yeah. He's not an experienced driver. That's the problem.
Yeah. You just took me like 100 meters.
1 meter or 100 meters, you're still not allowed to be using the bike with a passenger. He can't.
You go in like line walk around Jib, but if
anywhere.
Took me to my bike.
Anywhere. It can't be anywhere. We've had it before where bikes have crashed and the rider or the driver or both have died. It happens a lot, and it's something that we really want to and need to tackle down on. If you walk off and go and get your bike, I'm going to leave it at that. I can understand you're trying to defend your mate but I've stopped him before for the exact same thing. And he obviously hasn't learned from the first time, so now he'll be reported for it. All right? I suggest you go get your bike, all right? Have you ever been in trouble with the police?
Yes, I've got caught.
Yeah, well, we're not reporting you though, so I'm speaking to him. I've asked you to leave. I've asked you to leave to go get your bike, which originally was the story, unless you're not actually getting a bike. You haven't been reported by police before. All right, so it's something that we can push for a caution. I was hoping the first time we dealt with him, he would have learned, but obviously he hasn't. So that time he didn't get reported. This time he has.
Carry on, lads.
He'll get a letter in the post stating that he's been summoned to court, and there he'll have to answer to the magistrates.
The learner is riding away for now, but he might come to regret giving his mate a lift. Over 2,000 marine species are listed as protected in British Gibraltarian waters. For Hackney-born Arturo of the Customs Marine team, that's one of the perks of the job.
The best thing about my job, I've got to say, probably, it's not all about clearing vessels or chasing down drug smugglers, but we'll also have the great chance of seeing different wildlife out there, anything between turtles to flying fish that end up jumping in the boat.
There, to your right. To your right. Yep.
Dolphin! They always come up to our boats.
They may be smelling something.
There has to be a fish.
Yeah, rotten fish somewhere under there.
There's a fish rotting underneath that.
You can smell the fish.
Ooh.
With the discovery of rotten fish on board, the team decide to head back to base for essential maintenance.
It's one of those flying fish. At night time, they normally, well, nighttime, daytime. Sometimes we get them on board. They're coming on once.
Can you smell that? Rotting fish.
The not so nice parts of the job. That smells, it's indescribable, it's absolutely gobby.
Problem is, the fish are still stuck to the deck.
Here I come to save the day. There we go.
Here you go. Go on, Ed.
Hey up, mate! Sardines, anyone?
Do you want me to get the hose down there?
Yeah, you need to hose it out. Next man.
Is eat? We've got to eat after this. Now there's another 2 in there.
2. Now we're going to get some one of these hooks and see if we can push it out by force.
There it comes.
On the other side.
Fish number 2.
Load of worms on that one.
Look at the maggot on the not even the birds want them.
1 fish to go, then they can go for dinner, if anyone has the stomach for it.
Yes! Fish number 3! Oh! Bloody hell, mate. Fish whisperer. That's me. Job done.
Another day in paradise.
But at police HQ, storm clouds are gathering. The drug squad are getting ready for an operation.
Yesterday, we received information from a registered informant to the effect that a local drug supplier, who is as yet unidentified, has concealed an amount of cannabis resin in a derelict building. It is alleged that the amount in question is in excess of 1 kilogram. This would have a street value in excess of 5 grand, okay? So, again, I don't know whether it's 5 grand is something that you would just leave lying around in an abandoned building, but that's the intel that we've got, all right? And the person has taken to concealing the drugs at this location, referred to henceforth as the dead drop, due to the mistaken belief that drug squad officers have somehow compromised his mobile telephone remotely and are therefore monitoring his communications. Shh. There's a few doors that might be locked, a few padlocks, so we'll take the MOE down, and remember, we don't need a search warrant. I call the X5. Derelict building is a state of ruin, just smash whatever you need to smash, okay? Venga, apes together strong! I need to put a mask on, don't I? Weak, weak.
Today, it's not just drugs that are worrying Jerry.
Let's try and beat this weather warning as well, yeah?
What is the weather warning?
Lots of water and lots of wind, which in Gibraltar is terrible. Anything more than a light shower is gale force.
The target is a derelict building in Sandy Bay, East Gibraltar.
They're just going to go hold the gate. What we don't want is people shooting up as we arrive, so we're going to contain the place. Just make sure there's no runners either side. And I'm trying to beat that cloud. I'm trying to beat that weather. Look at that. This is very British weather. Right, let's go, yeah? Let's have a look. Hang on, go, 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 go. Police!
In better days, it was the HQ of a motorcycle club. But the tip-off said the stash might be in the outbuildings.
Shall we? Apes together strong?
Ready.
Evidence that someone's been here is plain to see.
It's this one, it's this one.
Ready.
It definitely smells of cannabis. If it's lingering scent, it means there was quite a lot in here. Whether it's here, downstairs, whatever the case may be. If it's current scent, obviously there's an amount that's still stored around here somewhere, so, and I can definitely smell it, so. I don't know, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed it's here. I think it's here. No, it's here. It's gonna be here, or, no, here it's not. Oh. No, guys, it's here. 100% it's here, man. Oh. There's a strong smell, that's for sure, man. Always trust your nose. Never trust a skinny chef, and always trust your nose.
But there's another nose that Jerry trusts even more.
Good doggy, good doggy, good doggy. Thanks.
They've called up the customs dog team, and Spaniel, Lola, is the expert when it comes to sniffing out drugs. She's onto something.
Come on, look at that. I'd pay money for indications like that. Look at the scratching. Okay, I think we have a good place to start then. I'm going to open up the toilet, because that indication was beautiful.
The police are searching an abandoned building after a tip-off is being used to hide drugs. Sniffer dog Lola has given them an indication.
Okay, I've got a bag. Hang on, gloves. I'll hold it for you. Yeah, I'll get the body one. In the cistern, there's a bag. But no other smell. Yeah, that's going to be a find. That's a find. Okay, let's take it out.
How big is it?
Sorry, let me.
To get the bag off because it's a bit wet when it comes to sleep.
Mira, let's do something. Let's take it out. Let's set it down on the bag, on the dry surface, and we'll open it up. That's going to be cannabis, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice. Excellent. Whoa!
Hang about.
There we go, boys. Clearly cannabis resin. I would suggest that it's very good cannabis resin. There's a very strong, very pungent smell to it, and I'm really impressed with that. I'm really happy with that find, honestly. So there's over a kilo.
11.
That's over a kilo.
That's
Make sure the dog gets a nice treat for this one.
Yeah, don't worry, she will, bless her.
We got about 11 in total, no guys?
Yeah, 11, yeah.
They look like 100-gram soap bars. One of them's got a Hermes marking on it. Hermes Paris or something like that.
Drug dealers mark their products with logos such as designer labels so users get to know their brand.
A lot of this stuff is normally destined for France anyway, but somebody's lost a lot of money right there right now.
£5 at least.
Yeah.
If it is a kilo, which I think is more than a kilo. Over £5. It's ours. It's five grand of cannabis that's not going to make it onto the streets of Europe.
Yeah.
We are amongst a lot of smuggling routes. You've got Africa over my right shoulder, which is literally a stone's throw away. And the #1 producer of cannabis resin in the world. Into Europe, France usually, sometimes even as far as the UK. You've got Algeciras port behind me, which is one of, if not the largest cruise route for cocaine into Europe, believe it or not. It's now surpassed the port of Rotterdam and the port of Amsterdam. So there is a lot going on around us. So it's absolutely natural that certain elements of our society are going to be caught up in that.
It's a continuing problem for the authorities to deal with. And in 2020, the Royal Gibraltar Police seized over 320 kilos of cannabis resin.
One.
This downpour is unusual for Gibraltar, a place that can go 90 days without rain in the summer. And as the team returns to base, they find a nasty surprise.
Got back from this successful job in the rain, and we found that the office is flooded. So I'm cracking away with the paperwork, and the lads are just making the office safe, making sure that none of our computers explode or catch fire. So yeah, not the best experience to walk back into, and they're doing a good job of it thus far. So, and nothing's on fire, which is always a good thing for drug squad officers.
With the smell of dead fish finally gone, Arturo, Max and John are back on patrol. The boat they seized with large amounts of fuel on board is still moored up at their base.
The owner of the boat's turned up, so I'm going to have to go and deal with that. We brought it in awaiting a proof of ownership. I've just been told the owners have turned up, so I'm going to go check all the paperwork. If the paperwork's correct, they'll get the boat back, and if not, they'll have to come back with the correct paperwork.
Arturo wants to see official documents for the vessel.
¿Y las petacas? Petacas habían 10 petacas, boludo. ¿10 petacas? 10 petacas de gasolina.
Eso no lo sabía yo.
Las petacas no se van de aquí. Las petacas, hasta que no lo investiguen, no sé. Bueno, las petacas no van a coger para atrás. Eso. Y más que lleva dos tanques.
The customs team still have their suspicions, but the men have brought paperwork for the boat.
Suelo y el bolsillo lleno, las dos cosas.
Whatever it was being used for overnight, there's nothing to stop the owners taking it back now.
We've seen that it's as legal as it can be, and simply returned it because there's nothing really we found on board. So what we did find with the fuel containers we've taken off, we told them we were going to confiscate them, pending further investigation if need be, and we've given it back. Lovely gentleman.
The guy who went in with the documents is not the guy who actually checked the boats. So that makes you think that the guy that was actually checking the boat is the one who's in charge of that. And apparently they didn't know anything about the canisters, you know, so.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
But But not every boat seized in Jib's waters is returned to its owner.
So this is one of our stores where we keep our confiscated items. Basically stuff we've found with contraband on board. We've got engines which has come off various ribs. We have boats like these over here which were caught with cigarettes. When we are in a chase with things like that, there is a high adrenaline rush. They tend to be bigger than us, faster than us, and there's always the possibility of them turning around and deciding to try and ram us, which has happened a couple of times now as well.
Unconventional stuff that the smugglers do use. This is actually a banana boat, long yellow tube type thing. On this occasion, the actual boat and the banana had cigarettes inside.
One estimate is that the trade in cannabis from Africa to Europe is worth 8 billion euros annually.
This is the latest one we managed to capture. The officer that went on board realised it was a bit heavy, seemed very under power. So we took it back to search it and found a concealment with 800 kilos.
Finds of this size are rare.
These vessels are normally kept somewhere in Spain, southern coast of Spain or northern coast of Africa or Morocco. They're launched, go out to sea, go from Spain to Morocco, or if they're already in Morocco, just load up whilst there and head off to different parts of sometimes Spain, sometimes further up the coastline, normally around the southern end of Spain, and then gets distributed throughout Europe.
Sometimes smugglers choose the most surprising vessels to make the transcontinental dash.
Little jet ski over there, come across the Straits last summer, and when it was searched, it was found to have just over 1.5 kilos of cannabis.
There's one word that sums up Gibraltar in its entirety, and that's unique. And that's what we are. We're just unique. We can do it. I'm very privileged that I can live here. To be honest, I don't think I could see myself living anywhere else.
In this episode, following the raid on the apartment, the man was fined £1,250 for possession of Class A and Class B drugs, and £1,000 for possession of radio communication equipment. The moped rider who gave his friend a lift is still awaiting his day in court.
So fined.
The dealer who was hiding his stash in an abandoned building has not yet been traced. But he has lost over £6,000 of drugs, an even higher amount than the team first thought.